Also, supposedly, I'm not sure when the combine's going to happen, but they're going to do an NRL combine as well in America.
I love this idea.
Yeah, and they said they're going to give out 4 contracts, NRL contracts.
But they should make this a TV show because I'd watch it.
Yeah, well, like they did. What was that one they did here where they got the NRL guys, the fringe guys? Yeah. Whether something like that, or whether they do Jordan Mailata, that kind of story. You follow them going through the getting ready for the combine, potentially getting picks, that sort of thing. I thought it was really interesting because there's plenty of course, we know there's plenty of American talent
much
that comes out of college football that goes nowhere, essentially. So there's plenty of guys that could potentially be interested in this thing. But then after watching Mark Sanchez and Forrest Griffin try to throw passes during their highlights, it was like, oh, they might be lucky to give out 4 contracts.
Wingers, I feel like...
My joke in there is if Tarek Sims can throw 12 passes in a season, I think they could probably find some talent that can run the football. So, yeah, I think...
it's only going to be that... Could you play anywhere else?
I think, yeah.
I think you have to be an outside back, maybe a centre.
Yeah, and second row, I think.
Yeah.
With guys that probably aren't going to pass the ball much. Dudes they can hit.
I see even second row, it's hard to teach, running angles, the tackling technique of it all.
But I think they're going to have so many guys that size.
Yeah, the size, yeah.
So I think for volume, they're the positions because you're going to have linebackers, tight ends, like maybe some linemen.
I think they're too big, man.
Well, I think those guys because the linebackers these days are kind of 6'2", anywhere from 200 to 240, 250.
Inside guys, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they can kind of fit into
which is like a prop.
Yeah, I feel like they again probably cut a little bit, fit in at the 100 kgs kind of market, 225, play second row. I think that, and then like you said, centre and wingers is probably, which is running back, wide receivers.
That's the only. That's the only position that I could see feasibly being able to teach someone because you just have to catch and run.
Yeah,
and finish.
And I think there's plenty of guys that kind of fit that mode. Probably throw in some, your safeties or your corners, etc. that have that body type. They're the kind of positions they play. I don't think we're going to find the next halfback and 5.
I don't think Nathan Cleary's going to come out of it.
But, not this year. Maybe if this works and in 10, 20 years' time, they may find some talent.
Because the idea's been there for ages and it is what you alluded to. The best athletes in the world, only 2% of guys that play Div 1 college go to the NFL. And then that 2%, their average career is, like 2 years or something?
Yeah, it's now to 2.5 years, yeah.
So there's a huge athletic talent pool, which, blokes just go on to become car salesmen. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
True.
But I'm sure we could foster some of that in this great game down under.
Yeah. I think
from looking at historical references, it hasn't really worked.
No. And I think some of the mechanics, for us, it's the sort of thing you learn from birth, and it's a bit hard to learn as you go through, and you have to kind of spend years in something to pick up that kind of skill set. But take someone, again, use the comparison, Jordan Mailata, never played NFL, never played gridiron in his life, went over there, had the talent. They've taught him over 2 to 3 years, and he's now, top 3, top 5 kind of left tackle. So, investment, do the time. If they've got elite talent, which they will be, they'll probably have guys that will outrun anyone in the NRL available.
When did he go? When did Jordan go? Age 19?
No, he was older than that, I'm sure.
I don't think he was much older than that because I think he was playing South under 20s. I think he played in the 20s team, and then I think they pretty much told him, you're too big.
In the off-season, they told him to lose 20 kilos, and he was just like, I can't. I think I'm a good weight now.
Yeah.
He was actually really good on the Kels podcast last week.
Heights, yeah.
Because they got him on to talk a little bit about rugby league, and is a tush push a scrum thing from rugby, and he's like, no, it's not even close.
Yeah, right.
If you've seen a rugby scrum, it's different how they interlock.
That's sick that League's getting a little shout out on that podcast.
So he's 26, got drafted in 2018.
Yeah, so he
5 years,
21.
So
how much college ball did he play?
I don't think he played any.
No, he played college, didn't he? Scroll up, you'll be able to see.
No, NFL rugby. No, there's nothing.
No college.
He never played it. He went over. He was purely size. So, so he finished in 2018 playing for Souths, and then went over, did the program, and got drafted.
So 5 years ago. So he's 26 now. So he's 21. Yeah. 21 when he went.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, same sort of theory. If you got a guy coming out of college, probably around that 21, 22 mark, bring him over 3-4 years. Hopefully they've learned the skill set, 25, 26. Maybe they're a starter for you. So, yeah, I think the athletic talent will be significantly higher than, say, at some of the positions that potentially we could get here, especially for run and agility. But the technical side of it's going to be the hardest part to learn, but that's always the case. But you get those genetic freaks, you come over, you teach them.
So one bloke, you can chuck him on the wing for your Brisbane Broncos.
Yep.
Who you going?
Oh, at the moment.
From the NFL.
Who's the best leaper at the moment?
Oh, for finishing.
Yeah, if you think about Cortland Sutton, just using a Denver guy I can think of, for a guy that's one-handed, catches to kind of finish things like in the end zone. If I'm trying to kick into a winger going up, I think Cortland Sutton's up there as one of the best kind of high ball compared to what's the thing they call it? It's not competition. It's not
competing.
What do they call that when the ball there's an actual term they call it. It's a complete mind blank of what the NFL term is for fighting for the ball. Fuck.
Let it come to you.
He's
probably making some more to the podcast.
it won't come to me. Contested. There we go. Contested ball.
Contested ball. There we go.
I knew it started with a C. He's at the top at the moment for contested balls. So if you're trying to kick to a winger, that's kind of one there. But there's plenty of guys.
DK for mine.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the Dragons have got DK on the wing?
Yeah. Or fullback, just get him running.
But again, it's too hard. I don't think they can play fullback. I think it's too hard a position for him to learn.
Defensively, yes.
Yeah,
I think.
And reading the game and directing the traffic
and the involvement and the support play.
Having said that, if DK gets the ball 5 meters out and you're the other winger,
DK is probably like a great size for, say, a centre. I think he'd be perfect. There. And
he can play prop.
Yeah,
he's big enough.
Teach him a little bit of wiggle, and if he can pass to his winger, then it's all good.
Yeah.
So, I think there's this, Derek Henry. I think you can find a role for him. You just give him the ball and let him stiff arm blokes. That's something. I think that's the point the NRL is going to try and do is find those genetic freaks that probably haven't worked out in the NFL.
Yep.
Give them a chance and see if they want to do it. And this is going to be my segue is I think it's probably going to be hard to entice a lot of these guys. Yes, it's good money. It's not NFL money. And you think of Luai, who's potentially going to sign this $6 million 5-year deal. It's $1 million a season. Practice squad guys get more than that. And maybe they want to stick around to try and kind of push their agenda.
That's the caveat.
We're also talking 8Es, so that's 600-700K, let's say.
So obviously our fantasy pipe dream of Cortland Sutton on the wing for the Broncos or DK on the wing for the Dragons, you're not getting that caliber athlete.
No.
You need guys that were brilliant college athletes.
We might get some of those guys, did an ACL, didn't work out in the NFL. You might be a few surprise packets.
You need guys that have no chance of a future in the NFL.
What's the thing of some of those guys actually coming here to get into the NFL? Do a reverse Jared Hayne. I can't get on a squad. There's no, I guess the XFL is kind of filling that gap at the moment.
How? You got to go and learn a new game to showcase your skills?
I know, but that's still the point. You got to show you're getting tape.
Nah.
Will we see that anytime soon? Probably not. But
no.
Maybe if it becomes a pathway in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there is a pathway for guys that were brilliant college players that don't have a future in the NFL.
Maybe got hurt.
To maybe come and play
on the wing. Did a knee or something and then potentially come back and
Anyways, it's a cool concept. I'm surprised we spent this much time on it.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.